Hi, so here's a full tutorial on how I do my eyes now. You need about a metre long piece of blanket yarn. I always use blanket yarn, I don't use any of the acrylics. Go in from under the head where you want to put your eyes, figure out that, come out on this side of the stitch, and I always start with my yarn at the front of the eye. I don't know if it would make any difference, but it's just the way I do it. So, and then I'm going to go up to the next. See that goes through, so find somewhere where it won't pull all the way through. That first one, I always put my finger on it to hold them still. And the first one will be the center stitch in the eye. So the next one will go down. So in the same place, out of the same place. And we're going to hold that. Push it down, hold it there. Pull it through fairly firmly. And pick off the fluff as you go. And now we're going to do the top, on the one on the top. Hold him there so he stays still. Pull it in firmly. More fluff. Okay, so you've got 3 stitches there now, and now we'll work at trying to get it round. So in the same place, out the same place. Leave the needle in like that so it's pushing the eye up. Pull your cord in under there quite tight. Hold it there and pull it through. So it just pushes up the eye. And we'll do the same on the top. So put the needle through like that. Push it right in up underneath there. Get rid of your fluff. That's the worst part about doing eyes. Pull it through nice and firm. So we're getting a rounded eye. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to go through the bottom again. Same thing again. Do that. Pull it in nice and firm. Just pulls up that eye nicely. So it's getting rounder. And we're going to do one more up the top. Nice and tight in underneath. It's pulling it up nicely. And then you might find you've got a couple of sort of denty bits. See, there's a big dent, so we'll put one over the top there to cover that. Hold it on there nice and tight, and then pull through. See if there's any more. I think it's pretty good actually. So it's good, so I'm not going to go back over it again. I'm going to go back and over here for the other one. About there, I reckon. Keep that nice and firm. And we're going to do the same thing for the other eye, except for I'm going to turn him around so I can get the right angle. See, that pulls through, so find a spot where it doesn't pull through. There we go. That's too close to the eye. Yeah, it's too close. Move it through further. Start again. Let's check that out. Yep. Up to there. And through. So I know this is going to be a long video, but this way you'll get a really good look at how it's done. So that was your center stitch. Let's do the top one this time. Doesn't really matter which way you go, just and this one. And then we start building the roundness of the eye with the needle in there, pull it in and under that. Half the stuffing's going to be out of his head before I get him done, but in and around. Again, around. Gets easier as you've done a few rounds on it. Through there like that. Put it in under. I think we need one more up there. That side. And then this one's got one bit sticking up and some others down, so we'll add a couple of extra on top of this one. It's always in the same, coming in and out the same place. Another one there. A bit of the fluff. Set it there again. Let's just have a look. So it's pretty round. He's pretty round. They're about the same size, roughly in the same spot. Might actually just pull one more in underneath to pull it up tight. This time I'm going to go right through back to where I started in there. Get it through down there. Just loosen that up a bit for a second. Pull it in under there nice and tight. That's better. Okay, and then I just make sure it's in the same hole. Yeah. Tie it off in a double knot. Poke it through. This one here, the same thing. And if it's not long enough to turn your needle around, just put your needle in the other out the other way. That works too. Okay, so I'll cut this off. I tried doing the eyes the other day with the new Parfait plush. Well, it's new to us here in Australia. Don't know how long it's been out everywhere else. And they worked out beautifully. The velvetyness of that yarn looks gorgeous. But I've used it all, so I couldn't show you. So the white in the bottom, out at the front. Get rid of the fluff, pull it through. In white I used about 50 centimetres. Depends on how big the toy you're working on is. So it comes out the front at the bottom, up through the top. This is difficult, so you can just get a hold on to that eye really, really hard. Poke your needle in under, and it's got to go over the top of the white. Fairly firmly, and then this goes on underneath the white, and it's going to come out at the top. Not at the top, but almost at the top of the eye. Pull that through until it's neat with the white there. Any fluff. Now this piece is going to go down about 2/3 of the eye, I suppose. Another time where you really need to hang on up the top to get it in at the right without squashing it. Push it through over to the other eye, pull it out. till it gets sort of almost there. Now use your needle to poke that eye out and then pull that through to the right, how you tightness that you want, whether you want it really tight or just a little bit loose. That's it. So the white, that bit there will actually stop your white from flipping up over your eye at a later date. I found that some of the ones that I did for my grandson, after a few washes, the white actually came up, so I've started doing it that way now. I do the same thing for the other eye. Once you get closer, hold it in there. So we're over the top, go in under, come out near the top of the eye, pull it until it's pretty much flush with that. Get rid of your fluff. Fluff is the bane of my life. Hold on to the eye again and the face. Poke it through. We're going to come out down under there where we went in. Get it almost there, and then do the same thing. Put the needle in under there and hold your eye out. Pull it until you get it the right tension that you want it. And then we just tie off the ends and pull them through. And I'll show you the finished eyes. This one's too short to turn the needle, so being a darning needle, it doesn't matter, you can just shove it in the other way through. Trim those off, I give them a tug, and then trim so it rest pops back in. Okay, here we go. So we've got one eye, two eyes. They're nice and rounded, see how they stick out the sides of the head? That's how I do my eyes.